Bonjour. So, it is now time for your Unit 4 test. I know it feels like we went through Unit 4 really quickly. It's because we did. We're going through Unit 5 even more quickly because we're going to skip some lessons. So, for Unit 4, as usual, got your Quizlets up at the top so you can study the vocab. This wasn't a super vocab heavy lesson, mostly lesson 4 or 13, but look through everything to make sure you know the words, especially the verbs. That's going to be really important for this test. So then they're listening. There are 10 listening questions. I think they're actually worth 1 point each on this test. And here, when you're doing your Form B practice test, here's where you can listen to the kinds of questions I'm going to ask. They're similar to the ones that will be on your actual test. Just like every other time, all 3 other times we've taken a test. Then, le choix logique, you just need to be able to conjugate the verbs from this lesson. So go back through all the Quizlets, find the verbs, make sure you can conjugate them, and make sure you know what they mean, because here you're having to place them in context. It is multiple choice, though. Then, la demande logique. This one is kind of interesting. You haven't had a section like this before, but it gives you a scenario, and you choose the logical question that someone would ask in that scenario from 3 options. So it's multiple choice, but really all you can do to study for this part is make sure you know the vocabulary, including verbs, including any other vocab. You need to make sure you understand all of it. Then, la bonne forme. This is just verb conjugation, so make sure you can conjugate lire, dire, écrire, connaître, and savoir. Okay? And you're not having to choose which one of them to use in this section. I will give you which one you need, so you'll just conjugate it for whatever the subject of the sentence is. So just make sure you know the conjugations. Then, relation personnelle. Make sure you know all of the preceding object pronouns, so le, la, l'apostrophe, les, and lui, leur, and when to use them. So this is what we've been working on for like the last half, or maybe even the majority of this unit of Unit 4. It's been all about these, so you should be pretty familiar with them at this point. Then, contexte et dialogue. This is just like every other dialogue thing you've had where there's a little dialogue series, and then you have to choose the appropriate fill in the blank out of 2 options. Make sure you know when to use connaître and when to use savoir, and when to use preceding object pronouns. So remember, connaître as in to be familiar with, to know a person or place, and then savoir as in to know like a fact. I recommend re-watching my video talking about how to tell these apart if you are still shaky on that. Then, your little paragraph section. You're writing a paragraph about a friend, real or imaginary, I don't care. So you need to tell me their name. So you'll say, il s'appelle or elle s'appelle, right? Not son nom est. It's wrong. And that's what you will get if you try to enter it in Google Translate. Elle s'appelle or il s'appelle. I have known him since time. Remember, for sentences like this, you use the present tense and then depuis. So I know, je connais. I know him, je le connais, depuis, and then add like a period of time. 7 mois. I've known him for 7 months. Then I see him on the weekends. I don't see him on the weekends, whichever. I often call. I don't often call him or her. Remember, téléphoner, that's the verb phone. Téléphoner is téléphoner à. You phone to someone in French. So the object pronoun you'll use for this is lui, right? Je lui téléphone. I telephone to him souvent, often. I invited him to a party. I didn't, so this is the passé composé, right? Invited, it's past tense. I'm going to give him or her a blank, so this is about, like, on their birthday, a gift you'll give them, so just a gift that makes sense, not, like, any noun, but a gift. I know his or her family. I don't know his or her family. So here, know is know as to know people, right? so it's connaître. And I know that he or she has like brothers and sisters, or I don't know if he has brothers or sisters, random string of numbers. So this one, know, this is to know a fact, so it would be savoir. Okay, that's it. Let's look at the post. So there'll be, I'm so sorry, this is giving you whiplash. So in your test prep post, as usual, there is a copy of the Form B version of the test for you to go through, practice. There's a copy of the key for that Form B test. There's this document so you can write your sentences and let me check them. And I've also put in the slides for Unit 4 so you can click through them and remember some things that way. Also, of course, all my videos are still up. You've got your Quizlets. Should have plenty to review. And you'll notice in the schedule for this week, for the rest of this week, let's just look at it while you're here, if you're here. The schedule for the rest of the week, you'll see that for Wednesday I have you scheduled to do the test prep and then like 2 sets of notes and then the test tomorrow, so we're kind of getting into Unit 5 before you take the Unit 4 test. You can do these in whatever order you want. You can take the test today, just make sure that you send me a message so I can check your sentences before you take it. But also, same as always, you can do all of this in whatever order you want. Just have it done by Friday. And so I should note the only like deliverable here, the only thing you have to turn in for a grade for the rest of this week is the Unit 4 test. You have lots of notes that are going to be important for next week, but none of the practice in them is graded or anything. So make sure you get your Unit 4 test done and then start going through these notes. You can see here, Lesson 17, we've got 3 sets of notes videos, and then no quiz. We're not quizzing over Lesson 17. And then you can see there's only 1 assignment for Lesson 18. We're also not quizzing over it. And then we're moving right on to 19. So in these assignments, I'm going to post the Quizlet for them because it's important that you get the vocab and you can practice the vocab. We're not quizzing specifically over it. You'll just need it for your Lesson 19 quiz and your Lesson 20 quiz and eventually your Unit 5 test. So like I said, we're going to move really quick through Lesson 5. Get ready for that. Make sure you do your Unit 4 test. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you need any extra practice, let me know. A lot of this is pretty easy to find practice for online. If you need practice with Connaître and Savoir, you can just search Connaître and Savoir practice. That's it. Au revoir.